hot Gala, cold Fanta. Come and eat before the sun gets angry with you.
Before the first rooster crowed, she became human again. She stepped out of the forest path with a tray balanced effortlessly on her head, Gala wrapped neatly, bottles of minerals still cold, mist clinging to the plastic like the night refused to let go. By the time the village stirred, Zainab was already in the market. She arranged her goods slowly, carefully, each Gala placed straight, each bottle wiped clean. The care felt almost ritualistic, as though the order itself mattered more than the sales. Traders passing by slowed their steps. How can her mineral always be cold? One whispered. She doesn't even buy ice every morning, another replied. But look at her, a third said quietly. Maybe luck follows her. Zainab heard everything. She never answered. She simply smiled. People came meaning to buy elsewhere, yet found themselves stopping at her tray. It wasn't just hunger. It wasn't thirst. It was something else. Something calm, heavy, and difficult to explain. Among them was Musa, a struggling farmer, lean, hardworking, always dusty from the fields. His land resisted him. His harvest failed more often than they succeeded. Yet, every morning, without fail, Musa stopped at Zainab's stall. Sometimes he bought a Gala, sometimes only mineral, sometimes nothing at all. He lingered instead. The sun is strong today, he'd say. You should sit closer to the shade. Zainab listened with quiet amusement. She never pushed him away. Musa never asked where she lived, never questioned why she left the market before sunset, disappearing down the forest path. He respected her silence, and Zainab, against every rule her people taught her, found herself staying longer whenever Musa was near. That was when the forest began to notice. The first warning came the night Zainab returned late. A cold wind circled her ankles as she stepped onto the forest path. The leaves rustled sharply, urgently. Do not forget who you are, they whispered. Do not stay too long. Zainab ignored them. In the market, elders had begun to watch her more closely. An older woman selling palm oil leaned toward her one evening and murmured, "My daughter, some beauties are not meant to stay among us. People are talking." Zainab smiled politely, but her hands trembled as she packed her tray. Musa noticed. Still, she kept coming back, kept selling Gala, kept laughing softly at Musa's clumsy jokes, kept waking beside him, listening to his steady breathing, pretending the warmth did not weaken her resolve. Then came the antelope. Musa saw it early one morning on his farm. A white-spotted antelope stood among the cassava, unmoving, its eyes wide, bright, almost human, locked onto his. "Go!" Musa shouted, raising his cutlass. The antelope flinched but did not run. For a long moment, man and creature stared at each other, the world holding its breath. Then the antelope turned and vanished into the forest like a shadow dissolving into light. That night, Musa told Zainab. Her hands froze. Fear flickered across her face. Quick, unmistakable. "It's nothing," she said too fast. Sometimes the forest sends animals far, but her voice trembled. That night, Zainab dreamed of the antelope. It spoke without moving its mouth. "You are forgetting us," it said. "Humans always betray." She woke gasping, fingers clutching the ring that bound her to a people. For the first time, she whispered the words that changed everything. "I want to stay." The forest shivered. Zainab began to notice Musa watching her, not with suspicion, but fear. Fear of losing her. She stiffened at loud noises, avoided mirrors, never walked barefoot. Sometimes, just for a heartbeat, her eyes glowed faintly in the dark. One evening, she spoke. "Musa," she said softly, "if I tell you who I truly am, will you promise not to fear me?" He nodded. Zainab stood, took a breath, and removed the ring. Musa barely had time to scream. Her body shifted, bones realigned, skin tightened. Within seconds, the white-spotted antelope stood before him, silent, trembling, alive. Then it bowed its head. Zainab returned, human again, shaking, tears in her eyes. "This is why I disappear," she whispered. "This is why I sell galas so fresh. This is why I cannot stay out at night." Musa was afraid, but he stayed. For a while, peace returned. Then the ring began to resist her. One night, it would not loosen. Another night, it burnt cold. The forest grew silent. No whisper, no warmth. And then one morning, the ring was gone. Zainab searched everywhere. Musa would not meet her eyes. She stepped toward the forest. The air rejected her. Her body tried to change but failed. Pain tore through her. She collapsed. She was cut off. Neither spirit nor animal. Only human. From that day, Zainab aged. Her strength dimmed. The Gala lost its glow and Musa's life began to rise. At first, the blessings came quietly. Musa's crops began to grow faster than anyone had seen. Yams swelled in the soil. Cassava stood firm and healthy. Buyers who once ignored him now called his name first in the market. Others nodded at him with approval. People said fortune had finally chosen him. Zainab watched everything in silence. Without the ring, her body felt heavier each day. Her movements slowed. Lines formed where smoothness once lived. She still cooked, still cleaned, still rose before dawn to prepare the gala and mineral. But the glow that once followed her faded like a lamp running out of oil. Musa noticed but did not ask. That was when Aisha began to visit. She was confident, outspoken, beautiful in a loud, human way. She laughed freely beside Musa, touched his arm without hesitation, praised his success where others only admired it. The village watched closely. She will make him a proper wife, they whispered. That other woman is too strange. Zainab heard every word and carried them quietly. One evening, returning from the river, she heard voices near the compound. Musa was laughing, a sound she had not heard in a long time. She's just there, he said casually. She helps, but she's not the kind of woman you build a future with. She has no family, no roots. Zainab stopped in the shadows. The bucket slipped slightly on her head, water spilling onto the dust at her feet. It wasn't the words alone that broke her. It was the ease with which he said them. From that night on, Musa changed openly. He sent her on errands while Aisha sat beside him. He spoke sharply. He avoided her eyes. He treated that presence as something permanent and undeserving of care. And still, Zainab stayed. Because love, when wounded, often stays longer than it should. But the land was watching, and the forest never forgets. The morning Musa woke to silence, he knew something had ended. No pot boiled on the fire. No soft humming filled the compound. No careful footsteps moved through the dust. Zainab was gone. Her mat lay empty. Her bowl was missing. Even the small corner where she once sat felt wider, colder, as if the house itself had exhaled and refused to breathe her in again. Musa called her name once, then again. His voice cracked on the third call. The village watched as he searched, opening empty rooms, walking to the forest edge, calling into spaces that no longer answered him. An elder shook her head slowly. When a woman like that walks away, she said, the ground remembers her footsteps. From that day, Musa's life unraveled. The soil hardened beneath his feet. Seeds refused to sprout. Buyers passed his stall without stopping. Elders who once praised him avoided his gaze. The blessings that came quickly left even faster, as though they had only been borrowing his name. At night, Musa dreamed of a white-spotted antelope standing at the edge of his farm, watching him with eyes full of judgment and sorrow. Far away, Zainab walked a different road. No ring bound her, no forest pulled her back. She carried only a small bundle and the quiet strength of someone who had survived her own heartbreak. Children greeted her along the paths. A farmer offered her water. She accepted, smiling for the first time in a long while. Some say she settled in a distant village. Some say the forest reclaimed her gently over time. Some swear they still see a white-spotted antelope watching markets from the trees. But the elders agree on this. Gentle people are not weak, they are warnings. And when grace leaves your life, it never announces its departure. It simply walks away. Moral: never take for granted the hearts that love you quietly. Greed blinds before it destroys.
Welcome to African Tales by Daniel. Like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this.